to our Build Better Business online workshop series. This is delivered as part of the Western Downs Building Business Resilience program to support businesses across the Western Downs region to future-proof their businesses and become more resilient. The program has been supported by Shell Australia to promote a holistic approach to disaster resilience. In this module, we'll look at risks, how to identify risks and respond to them in your business. We'll look to unpack some of the biggest risks businesses face and what you can do to manage them. A business risk is anything that threatens your ability to operate, leading to lost profits or business failure. By considering risks in advance, you can plan for them and develop procedures so that when they do occur, you have plans in place that you can activate. You may have also seen something like this. This is called a risk matrix. We'll simplify this practically. Some risks are going to be very rare and have low impacts, so something to consider and be mindful of, but build practices and responses for them. You may want to think about how you would categorise natural and man-made risks relevant to your business. We can also categorise risk based on direct, indirect, internal and external risks. This helps you think about how you can respond to the disasters. Direct threats are in your control. A direct internal risk might be your IT systems failing. You can influence this through backups and training. Indirect threats are outside of your control. An external risk might be an electrical storm hitting your town. You can't stop this, but you can plan for how you'll operate if it happens. Internal are risks that you have the power to mitigate or prevent. For example, loss of data, breaches of regulation, reputational damage, or fatigue on road. This may be staff burnout or high turnover, things you can address through better systems. And external. These risks you have no control over. For example, regulations and policies from governments or poor connectivity. Some examples of risk may include natural disasters, flood, fire, cyclone, storm or drought, which are external, direct and indirect. Common impacts include being unable to trade, premises closed, and customers or staff cannot access your workplace. Pandemic, human or animal, which is external and direct. Impacts could include staff being unable to work, cleaning and restocking time and costs, and customer behaviour changes. Regulatory and government policy changes can be external, direct and indirect. New policies and procedures to implement and changes in training are common impacts. Regulatory and government policy changes can be external, direct and indirect. New policies and procedures to implement and changes in trading are common impacts. Technology and IT security, for example, computers, internet, networks, client databases, telecommunications, which are indirect and direct. Impacts include software failures, cybersecurity, or loss of client data. And then there's reputation crisis, including online reviews or negative customer feedback, which is internal and direct. These impacts may include negative media coverage, social media rumours, or staff leave. Now, let's look at some common business risks and how you can respond to them. Financial management. This is how to prepare and manage your finances to absorb the impacts of risks and recover stronger. Legal. Understanding the legal considerations surrounding disaster and risk situations. Cybersecurity. How to prepare and manage your cybersecurity to move more resilient against unforeseen events. And insurance. What to think about in regards to insurances suitable for your business. A good starting point is financial risk, because money, and specifically positive cash flow, is the lifeblood of your business. Disasters can stop revenue overnight while adding unexpected costs. That's why managing cash flow is critical. Think of cash flow as your oxygen mask. You can't keep going without it. Having a healthy cash flow and rainy day savings before disasters strike has a positive impact on your ability to maintain financially healthy during and following disasters. It's therefore extremely important to have clear visibility on financial data as well as financial planning and forecasting for disasters and recovery. Have a separate account for cash flow and put away what you can each month. Some top tips include reducing cash outflow. This is about finding savings in your current expenses. What can you cut spending on? What are some expenses, for example, office stationery, memberships and subscriptions that could be cut or paused for the time being? Mitigate risk. Don't take on new unnecessary risks while trying to boost cash flow. Don't overinvest in areas that aren't bringing in much revenue or hire new staff members. Maintain cash inflow. Maintaining your cash inflows, revenue, as best as possible. If revenue is down, what can you do to bring it back up? Reduce cash payroll expenses. This is thinking about how you can be more efficient with your staff. Are there casuals that you cannot engage? Can anyone reduce their hours? Laying off staff should only be at a last resort. Apply for stimulus funds. Keep an eye out for stimulus funding from all levels of government. During disasters and economic downturns, governments typically inject money into the economy to assist those affected and increase aggregated demand. And tax deferments. Tax bills can add to your cash outflows in suboptimal ways. Consider working with your accountant to defer taxes where it makes sense for your business. I encourage you to sit down with your accountant or bookkeeper, not just at tax time, but regularly. Budget for regular meetings with them. It will pay off. You want to work with people who are as passionate about your business as you are. Bookkeepers record financial transactions, whereas accountants analyze it. Bookkeeping is a subset of accounting. Bookkeepers help you with collecting the data regarding your business. Accountants, however, analyze the data and turn them into relevant information for your business. We recommend that you instill a great reporting process and system to keep track of business expenses. You can look to design a turnaround strategy with your accountant or bookkeeper. This is essentially a plan that incorporates the cash flow tips from the previous slides into concrete actions, among other things. They will also help you identify when you need to activate your plan and how to best execute it. Some example questions you could be asking them are: how long could I sustain my business if tomorrow revenue fell to $0? How can I keep track of my expenses and categorize them? How does my revenue change throughout the year? What are all the financial implications of business investment decisions such as purchasing new equipment or hiring new staff? What are all the financial implications of business investment decisions such as purchasing new equipment or hiring new staff? And how much financial losses would be expected from being closed for 1 to 2 weeks? Your bookkeeper or accountant may recommend accounting software products that would be beneficial for your business. Their insights will help you make smarter decisions. A wonderful mentor of mine suggested to me once that you become a better business by adopting the 5% rule. That is, when you are reviewing your business operations, to ask yourself, how can we do 5% better? Making incremental improvements on both the revenue and expenditure lines can make a dramatic improvement to your overall business performance. We implement this mindset across all areas of the business, not just in financial management, but in operational improvements. Another key area is legal obligations. Business owners need to take responsibility for their legal obligations. Disasters put pressure on your ability to comply with things like fair work, tax, and workplace safety laws. It's important to have the right policies in place, from employee codes of conduct to safety procedures to returns and refund policies. These not only protect your staff and customers, but also your business reputation. WorkSafe Queensland, the Australian Tax Office, and Fair Work Queensland are useful sources to understand what your tax, remuneration, super, and OH&S legal requirements are. Have a think about how these can be placed under pressure during a disaster. There's tools and platforms and have lots of resources developed for the Australian legal system, such as contracts, non-disclosure agreements, policies, and procedures. Some policies and templates that you could create and that are important to have in your business include employee code of conduct, work health and safety, privacy, confidentiality, whistleblower and sustainability. Most of these platforms will also have templates for drafting terms and conditions documents relevant for your business. For example, a returns policy terms and condition. I will now share with you a legal example case study. In 2018, Barry Cafe, a popular brunch spot in Melbourne, faced a wage theft scandal when former employees accused the cafe of underpaying staff and exploiting visa workers. The dispute started as internal complaints from staff about unpaid wages, but quickly escalated when workers went public with their grievances. The Fair Work Ombudsman has secured a total of $232,545 in penalties in court against the company that operates Barry Cafe in the Melbourne suburb of Northcote and 2 of its directors after they deliberately underpaid 73 staff members more than $180,000. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity, one of the most common risks today. Many small businesses think it won't happen to me, but even a simple phishing email can lock you out of your systems for weeks. Disasters and risks have a way of testing business systems and processes to their limits. In some cases, cybersecurity becomes a salient issue in the face of uncertain technical business operations. Risks from potential hacks or data breaches and losses and other unforeseen events. Disasters and risks have a way of testing business systems and processes to their limits. In some cases, cybersecurity becomes a salient issue in the face of uncertain technical business operations, risks from potential hacks or data breaches and losses, and other unforeseen events. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, the NIST, cybersecurity framework is like a 5-step checklist to help you improve your online security. Number 1, identify. What do you have that needs protection? For example, your customer data, website, emails, payment systems, or banking. And an action is to list all of your important digital assets and think about what would happen if they got hacked. Number 2 is protect. How do you keep it safe? For example, using strong passwords, updating software, and training your employees on scams and how to identify them. An action can be setting up a multi-factor authentication or an MFA, install antivirus software, and keep backups of important files. Number 3 is detect. How will you know if something is wrong? For example, receiving a warning from your bank about a suspicious login. An action could be to set up alerts for unusual activity, check financial statements regularly, and be aware of common cyber threats. Number 4 is respond. What will you do if you get hacked? For example, if your emails get hacked, what's your plan? An action can be to have a quick response plan. For example, change passwords, call your IT support, and notify customers if needed. And number 5 is recover. How do you get back to normal? For example, if your computer crashes, how do you restore lost files? An action could be keeping backups of your important data and have an IT expert that you can call for help. Our top tips are to create strong passwords, enable 2-factor authentication, and keep regular backups. Password management. Use a password management software and protect your password with a master password. Make this master password a long phrase for maximum security. Your staff can then access the passwords that they need to. 2-factor authentication. Secure your accounts, but enable 2-factor authentication wherever possible. This will mean that logging in will require authentication from another one of your devices or accounts. For example, through a password management system or a mobile phone code. Cloud and backups. Whether you use Google, Microsoft, or Salesforce to house important data, you should get a cloud-to-cloud backup service. This will ensure that if something were to happen to your accounts and cloud service, you have a backup of all your data hosted on another cloud server. Case studies like Global Ballooning Australia show how devastating a cyber attack can be, but also how preventable many of these issues are with the right systems in place. Global Ballooning Australia is Victoria's largest tour operation, offering award-winning sunrise hot air balloon flights over Melbourne, Yarra Valley and Mansfield. In August 2019, they received an email they believed to be from Facebook, asking them to change their password. This turned out to be a hack. Hackers took control of the company's Facebook page, leading to $35,000 in fraudulent transactions and a 10-month service disruption. The business was also not able to post on Facebook for about 6 months, which had flow-on impacts as the business lost a key marketing channel. Finally, let's talk about insurance. Having the right cover can mean the difference between closing your doors and surviving a disaster. Specifically, we're going to outline the main types of insurance that you should consider. The 6 types of insurance you should consider, depending on your business type, include business. Business insurance can provide cover for your business premises and contents against loss, damage, or theft, also offering protection against financial loss experienced from an insured interruption to your business. Public liability. Public liability insurance helps cover your costs if you become liable to pay compensation to a third party for damage to their property or injury to them. Workers' compensation. Workers' compensation is a form of insurance payment to employees if they are injured at work or become sick due to their work. Professional indemnity. Professional indemnity insurance provides protection for your business against a claim made by a client alleging they have suffered a financial loss as a result of your negligence or a breach of professional duty from services provided by your business. Crop insurance. Crop insurance offers financial protection to agricultural producers against either the loss of their crops due to natural disasters such as hail, drought, and floods, or the loss of revenue due to declines in the prices of agricultural commodities. And personal insurance, for example, income protection for individuals. Here we mean personal income protection insurance. This type of insurance provides protection for you as a business owner should you not be able to work by covering your lost wages. It's important to understand the terms of each policy you have to identify exactly what risks, events, or damages are going to be covered by each type of insurance. For example, if you're a farmer, crop insurance may be part of your business insurance, but it's important to check and confirm this with your provider. It's worth sitting down with an insurance broker who understands your industry and asking the tough questions. Here are some things to think about when selecting an insurance broker. Are they just a broker or a holistic risk advisor, highlighting issues or risks, keeping the business accountable? Ask brokers about if they have other similar clients with activities. If they aren't engaged enough in your sector, you may want to look at others. What insurers have an appetite for this business and your activities? Who are they going to go to? What understanding do they have of your business activities and industry? What questions do they ask you? What is their reputation in this space? And what claims support do they provide? What other support or guidance do they offer? Brokers should help you run a good business. Having solid risk management foundations is crucial for business success. Understanding and responding to risks isn't about fear, it's about control. The more you know, the more prepared you are, and the quicker you can bounce back. Next, we're going to shift focus to your customers and how to keep them with you during good times and bad. Thank you for listening to this workshop topic on understanding and responding to risk. The next workshop module topic is on getting and keeping customers. Be sure to keep following Western Downs Regional Council to view other resources and support programs. Stay resilient and take care.